Hey, Warriors fans, let's dive right into what went down in the latest matchup because there's a lot to unpack from Friday night. Honestly, I expected the game to be a showcase of the Warriors' dominance, something that would leave the fans in awe, but instead, it turned into a roller coaster of frustration. The first half looked promising. The team did what they always do. Steph Curry was scoring, the offense was flowing, and for a moment, it seemed like a textbook performance. But then the cracks started showing, and by the time the fourth quarter rolled around, things completely unraveled. It's one thing to slip up against powerhouse teams that can push back and capitalize on mistakes, but losing focus against a team like the Trailblazers? That's a miss fans just can't ignore. Portland is still rebuilding, dealing with a new ownership structure and navigating a season without Dame Lillard. So for them to hand the Warriors their first home loss of the year is baffling. Warriors fans should have expected a perfect record at home, not 5 wins and 1 loss. The numbers tell the story. Steph finished with 38 points, Jimmy Butler added 20, Moses Moody had 10, and Quentin Post put in 20 points. While individual performances were solid, the team as a whole faltered when it mattered most. The biggest concern wasn't even turnovers this time, surprisingly. It was the rebounding. The Warriors were out-rebounded 52-32, a staggering deficit that shouldn't happen, especially against a team missing key players. Donovan Clingan and Denny Avdija dominated on the boards, but the Warriors lineup, running small ball with Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Will Richardson, and Moses Moody, just wasn't built to handle it. You can't expect a team to thrive in the paint when most of your big men are under 7 feet, and you're facing a lineup that has size, athleticism, and depth. Historically, when the Warriors' small ball system worked, they had the right pieces. Klay Thompson spacing the floor, Draymond facilitating and anchoring the defense, and bigs like David Lee or Andrew Bogut controlling the middle. Now, that balance is gone, and the current roster doesn't have the shooting or size to compensate. What's even more alarming is the context of the loss. The Trailblazers were playing shorthanded. Key players were absent, including Dame Lillard, Drew Holiday, Hanson Young, and Shaedon Sharpe. This should have been a game the Warriors took comfortably, yet they allowed it to slip away. It highlights that there are structural issues that cannot be ignored. Moving forward, the team has to address these problems before the next big stretch of games, particularly the matchup against the Jazz. While Utah doesn't pose the same historic challenge as Portland, their size, youth, and potential can still create problems if the Warriors don't tighten things up. Looking ahead, the Warriors must consider how to address their interior game. Quentin Post is the only true 7-footer in the rotation, and when facing teams with multiple big men, the current small ball approach fails. Whether that means increasing Post's minutes or seeking roster moves to add size, action is needed now before the losses pile up. The rebounding deficiency is a glaring red flag that could derail the team if not corrected. The team's window to remain competitive and contend is shrinking, and management must evaluate every possible avenue to secure a player who can control the paint and grab rebounds consistently. The situation extends beyond just the lineup on the floor. The Warriors' front office, with all the decisions they have ahead, must weigh trades, potential free agent additions, and the strategic use of their cap space. Players like Moses Moody and Quentin Post have potential, but their inconsistency means the team must either develop them into reliable contributors or leverage them to bring in pieces that fit the immediate needs. The franchise's championship window is finite, and waiting too long to make adjustments could push the team into a rebuilding phase rather than competing for a title. It's also a lesson in evaluating talent beyond pure potential. Draft picks, while enticing, don't always translate to immediate impact, and relying solely on unproven players is risky. Experience, maturity, and readiness matter just as much as raw talent. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson's early development demonstrates the value of players who are prepared to contribute immediately, understand their roles, and can navigate the challenges of the league with composure. The current roster has pieces with potential, but translating that into consistent performance requires careful management, precise rotations, and, crucially, the right personnel in the right positions. Friday's loss against the Trailblazers was more than just a single defeat. It's a reminder that gaps in size, consistency, and strategic execution can undermine even the most talented squads. The rebounding deficit, the late-game collapse, and the inability to dominate a team missing multiple stars all point to the same conclusion. Adjustments are needed. Whether it comes in the form of increasing minutes for key big men, rethinking rotations, or executing trades to address critical deficiencies, the Warriors must act decisively. The Jazz game represents the next opportunity to demonstrate that lessons have been learned, but the underlying issues exposed against Portland cannot be ignored if the team wants to maintain a legitimate championship trajectory. The overarching challenge lies in balancing development with competitiveness. The Warriors need to integrate young players, manage veteran minutes, and maintain a system that leverages their strengths while minimizing weaknesses. It's a delicate equation, and missteps could result in more unexpected losses. Management has to consider not only immediate matchups, but long-term roster construction, ensuring that when opportunities arise, the team has the personnel to capitalize. There are options available across the league, from big men on struggling teams to strategic acquisitions that can bolster rebounding and interior defense. And the front office must be proactive rather than reactive. This season is a pivotal moment for the Warriors. Their dominance at home, their reputation as a contender, and their ability to execute in high-pressure situations are all being tested. The first home loss, while not catastrophic in isolation, exposes vulnerabilities that, if unaddressed, could compound over time. Fans are watching, analysts are observing, and opponents are taking note. The choices made now, rotational adjustments, minutes management, and potential trades, will shape the trajectory of the team for the remainder of the season. Rebounding, once again, is a major factor. The previous game highlighted the consequences of neglecting control of the boards, and against Utah, the Warriors must ensure that their big men, particularly Quinn Post, Trace Jackson-Davis, Al Horford, and Draymond, are contributing effectively. It is not enough to simply rely on perimeter shooting or speed. Controlling the paint, grabbing defensive rebounds, and creating second-chance opportunities will determine whether the team can sustain offensive flow and limit the Jazz's scoring chances. If the Warriors continue to allow bigger lineups to dominate, the games will be closer than they should be, and the strain on Curry and Butler will increase unnecessarily. The broader concern extends beyond individual matchups. The Warriors' roster construction presents a unique challenge in the current NBA landscape. While small ball has historically provided advantages, the league has evolved, and opponents now exploit mismatches with bigger, more versatile players. The front office faces a delicate balance. They must find ways to integrate size and athleticism without compromising the spacing and shooting that define the Warriors' identity. This may mean reevaluating the minutes of existing players, shifting roles, or even exploring trade opportunities. For instance, Moses Moody has demonstrated potential but remains inconsistent, and Quinn Post, while physically capable, is underutilized in current rotations. Properly aligning these assets could stabilize the team and prevent the mid-season slide that threatens to derail a title run. Trading strategy is also critical. The market is filled with players who could fill the interior void, yet requires careful evaluation. Teams like Dallas, Memphis, or Brooklyn may offer big men with both size and skill capable of complementing the Warriors' system. Evaluating contracts, age, and fit within the existing culture is essential. Bringing in a player who can dominate the boards while maintaining floor spacing could be the difference between a playoff contender and a team flirting with mediocrity. Additionally, the Warriors must consider long-term planning, ensuring that any acquisitions not only address immediate deficiencies, but also contribute to sustaining a competitive window over the next several seasons. The season so far has underscored the value of experience and maturity. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson's trajectories illustrate the difference between raw talent and readiness to compete at the highest level. Younger players, no matter how talented, require time and guidance to reach their potential. Draft picks, while exciting, are not guaranteed solutions, and relying solely on unproven prospects is risky. The front office must navigate a delicate mix of developing young talent, maintaining veteran contributions, and strategically enhancing the roster with players capable of making an immediate impact. This balancing act is central to keeping the Warriors competitive while preparing for inevitable transitions in the coming years. Looking deeper at the performance metrics, the turnover of possessions and defensive lapses remain areas of concern. The Warriors' defensive schemes have often relied on versatility and quick rotations, but when faced with physically dominant or strategically astute opponents, these advantages can diminish. Addressing defensive positioning, improving communication on switches, and enhancing help defense are all necessary adjustments. Rebounding deficiencies exacerbate these issues because giving opponents extra opportunities leads to higher scoring chances and undermines momentum. Without systematic improvement, even games against middling teams can become unexpectedly challenging, as demonstrated against Portland. On the offensive end, the balance between relying on perimeter shooting and incorporating interior scoring options is critical. While Curry remains a transcendent scorer and Butler provides leadership and stability, relying exclusively on outside shooting limits the Warriors' adaptability. The ability to execute in half-court sets, generate points through cuts and post-play, and leverage mismatches in the paint will determine the team's consistency. Players like Quinn Post and Moses Moody need clearly defined roles that maximize their strengths while addressing team deficiencies. Without this clarity, rotations become disjointed, and critical possessions are lost in high-pressure situations. The Warriors' broader strategy must also consider cap space and roster flexibility. With several players nearing free agency or potential trade value, timing is crucial. The front office has a rare opportunity to reshape the team while maintaining competitiveness, but this requires precise evaluation of talent, contracts, and fit within the established culture. Pursuing a high-impact big man could stabilize the team, improve rebounding, and provide a reliable interior presence that has been missing. Conversely, failing to act decisively could result in prolonged struggles and jeopardize championship aspirations. Beyond the technical aspects of basketball, leadership and culture play an essential role. Draymond Green's experience, Curry's leadership, and the guidance of other veterans establish standards for accountability, preparation, and execution. Instilling these values across the roster ensures that younger players understand expectations and can thrive under pressure. Maintaining composure during adversity, executing plays efficiently, and sustaining intensity throughout the game are all cultural elements that directly impact performance. The team's response to setbacks, particularly unexpected losses at home, reflects not only skill but also mental toughness, cohesion, and readiness to compete at an elite level. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. The latest whispers from the NBA world have sent shockwaves through San Francisco. It seems the tension isn't dying down anytime soon. In a statement that is already stirring the rumor mill, former star SENSABAUGH'S didn't hold back when talking about the Warriors, leaving fans and insiders alike scrambling to make sense of his words. According to multiple sources close to the matter, SENSABAUGH'S comments were scathing, painting the team as weak and lacking the competitive edge expected from a franchise with championship ambitions. "It's not what you'd expect from a team with this kind of history," he allegedly said, leaving little room for misinterpretation. Insiders claim his remarks hit a nerve, igniting heated debates on social media and even among players in the locker room. The Warriors, long celebrated for their precision and star power, are suddenly at the center of scrutiny, and whispers suggest that the criticism could reach beyond just casual chatter. Some analysts argue that SENSABAUGH'S blunt assessment might force internal conversations that were long overdue, while others suspect it's a calculated move to provoke reactions and keep the team under the microscope. The buzz isn't limited to fans. League insiders suggest that management may now feel pressure to respond, if only to reassure supporters and stabilize the narrative around the team. Even rival franchises seem to be taking notice, quietly observing how the Warriors handle the public fallout. Behind closed doors, sources hint that some players are reportedly discussing the comments, with opinions ranging from dismissal to outright frustration, though nothing official has been confirmed. The ripple effect of SENSABAUG'S statement seems poised to linger, feeding speculation about team dynamics, leadership, and future strategies. While the Warriors continue their season, the chatter around SENSABAUG'S remarks refuses to fade. Some say it could be a turning point, forcing the team to prove critics wrong, while others wonder if it might sow seeds of internal tension. One thing is certain: the buzz is loud, the rumors are flying, and San Francisco's basketball scene is suddenly hotter than ever. Fans are left wondering, will the Warriors rise above the criticism, or will the shadow of SENSABAUG'S words linger longer than anyone expected? Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.